Greetings, one and all. Welcome to the Fall of Avanswell. Of course, our story begins in a modest town, far from the capital of Avanswell, far from much of the town. There's a story to tell. We're just getting started. Why spoil everything? Just begin. Fact is, this is a world very different from many of the worlds you've seen before. This is a world of great kingdoms, dark armies, and blood. For many years, the powerful Dread Army has swept across the 10 continents, the 10 kingdoms, the 10 kingdoms. And now only one remains. And that is where our story begins. In the Darengar Wildlands. A place next to the Darengar Wildlands in the kingdom known as the Wardlands of Hulk. Next to the last bastion of civilization to begin with. But now, it truly is. So, come and join us as this adventure begins. Alright. It's a little loud. I'm going to edit it still. This is me trying to find out the right sound for pure. Anyway, I'm being joined by 3 players right now. We have today with us Wyrm, Tiv, and Joe playing Ixbanor, Eskret, and Umbrin. They will have Ixbanor. You'll have introductions in the course of the adventure as we go here. Anyway, we'll make this work. We're missing a character today. It's fine. We'll make it work.
I'm just gonna. It's so good. It's so good.
So, hopefully, the 3 of you are having a great week and are ready for this adventure. So, I guess let's just start it. You can introduce your characters and get into stuff like that as we play. We'll probably have a little bit more introductory stuff after this first session. Anyway, all right. We bring our adventure in. The Wardlands, facing this great danger as the last of the surviving 10 kingdoms, the Dread Army possibly on the doorstep. Things are not lost for hope, though. The Dread Army has used much of its power, its strength, to take on the other 9 kingdoms. Perhaps the Wardlands can still hold. Avanswell will not fall. King Nathaniel Centrin seized this. Hopes of this. But nonetheless, that's not the problem that you're dealing with here. You're on the edge of the Wardlands. The northern edge, in a city that has sat itself deep within the forest. So we'll learn to Birchlarns, a city of wood, a logging city. And of course, Birchlarns isn't quite abandoned. There are military here. There are soldiers here. A battalion of dwarfs have joined forward, along with the few soldiers that remain at this place, while many of them have withdrawn back to the capital. At this time, a call comes out, resounding to the people. We need help. We are but few soldiers. If we are to protect our city, we need to fight. Now, in the fortress, Fort Trank, men, women, and all those beings of the Wardlands, left over from those kingdoms, gather. They may not be soldiers, but they are here to assist. A massive group of people spread out, all kinds. Humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, unusual species that are a bit more rare now after everything that's happened. Here and there, spread out. They gather, mill about. Currently, no one has spoken to them. No words have been said. but nonetheless, they are all ready for action. They all await for someone to speak to them, for someone to inform them what's going on. We don't quite start here. We kind of pan up to a window overlooking it. A woman sits watching this group. She kind of shakes her head a little bit. I fear this may not be enough. Still, I'm glad as many as have come, have called us to. I understand that you wish to join this action. I'm sure my grand uncle would have approved of it. As this half-elf woman turns, there's a small creature sitting at the edge of her desk, dressed in little robes. So, Ixbanor, what do you say?
So, am I addressing the two people in front of me, or the other people?
This woman who's speaking to you? You're in a room with her?
Just her. Okay, and it's just me and her.
Yes, right now it's just you and her.
Okay. Okay, now, what did she just say to me, the last thing? Now I've already forgotten.
Okay. I'm sure my grand uncle would be proud of what you're doing.
Do I know who she's referring to?
Yes, you do. In fact, It would be your master. She's half-elf.
Yes, okay. Yes, well, I do my best. I hope the potions I've been making have been sufficient.
They have, but are you sure you want to draw something so more front lines? You do know that, well, I fear that many of these volunteers may not be ready for what is to come. They're not as well trained, not organized into groups, and they're doing jobs that, if I had the manpower, I would be doing.
My former master, he made it clear that, he showed me that charging into battle is sometimes the way to achieve what you need.
Well,
what is needed?
I can at very least pass over the tests that we will prepare for you. Your expertise has already been proven many times over with your assistance here. I have a soldier, formerly, who has volunteered to assist and oversee some of the soldiers here. I'm sure you can find some individuals that would be wonderful for you to work with. Perhaps we should watch and see how things go.
Yeah, I'll help advise. Takes me back to my teaching days where I helped out, sorry, I completely forgot my master's name. It's been forever since I wrote my backstory.
Of course.
It's been a while since I taught with insert master's name. I'll look it up here in a second.
We're on top of things. Don't worry about it. Scuff is natural.
That is not something I expected to need immediately.
I don't know what you're talking about. Am I, like, using information from your character and putting it straight forward? This stuff that you gave me?
Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the one.
Anyway, it's okay. You can look that up.
Ural Halifax.
Yes.
When I was teaching with Ural.
Excellent.
I should have remembered that.
Mm-hmm.
Once I saw it, I'm like, oh, I remember that name now.
So, we kind of move back to the window and kind of like would pan down and now we turn to the crowd itself. But of course, amongst this crowd, kind of milling about, kind of waiting, are two individuals that are just happen to be standing near each other, though they don't really come here together. There is a ratfolk in a crown, and a fetchling who, did you describe yourself as goth? I think you did.
Whether or not he described himself as it, I feel like it kind of was.
I mean, yeah, I am the kind of dark, broody.
You're already a fetchling, but then you're like goth fetchling, so it's like another level of things. Anyway, so as the two of you are kind of milling about here amongst the crowd, as I said, there are all kinds of ancestries, people of all shapes and sizes here, that all seem to be, like, preparing themselves mentally. Some of them are chatting, there are groups that have some kind of, like, broken down, but there's a lot of people that are just kind of standing around looking. A man will kind of step up onto a kind of risen area, kind of at the front of this open courtyard in the fortress, to address the crowd. Greetings, one and all. I'm Victor Sevenhund. I am the vice commander here leading the troops. I will be the one overseeing your assignments and such, now that you're here. Thank all of you for your bravery and your desire to assist Birchlands, and of course all of the Warbinders. Certainly speaking, there has been much quiet from the Dread Army, but some hints and oracles tell that perhaps this peace won't last much longer. Hence why now is a call to action to all of you. We'll be administering a number of small tests to check your abilities, see how you are, and then we'll be assigning you to a number of commanders, overseers, who will basically be looking after you. Each of those overseers doing a particular job that we require the extra manpower for. Fortunately, you should be aware that we only have so many troops to patrol the nearby areas and maintain force in the fortress here. That's where you all come in. We do have some supplies for you, but those will be handed out once your groups have been determined and you're assigned together. Alright, everyone. Good luck to you. He'll kind of step down. A number of other people will kind of move up onto the the scaffolding, kind of look down at all of you. As now, for all of you, you get to take some tests. So the question will be, you have options for tests. You can take every test if you want, but they are just expecting you to take a couple of tests to show off your skills. There seems to be a combat tests where you hit some targets, whether ranged or martial. There's an obstacle course. There is a special kind of scavenger hunt in a little maze they're setting up. There is also a kind of little labyrinth test. And, of course, some puzzles, and it seems some kind of magical test. So, I will tell you what the tests are and what the skills are for them. What tests would you be interested in? Let's start with, of course, Eskret. Eskret, what kind of tests would you take? They expect you to at least take 2 tests, or you can take any.
Probably start with the, combat-focused one.
Okay. That's pretty simple. They've got a target set up, if you're doing, depending on if you're ranged or melee, and they expect you just to show off some of your skills.
Yeah, so, Eskret walks up, to one of the, melee training dummies, and stretches out a little bit and goes, "Attention! Attention! Your lord is about to display his skills." And he draws his rapier in a little bit of a flourish.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you want me just to make a normal strike?
Yeah, I would say do a full attack. So you use attack for all 3 of your actions. Give 3 strikes. We'll see how well they do. Target. The AC is not going to be high. All right.
You act like I ever roll well.
A 10 will hit. I'm not gonna lie. So then I think you can do attack 2 and attack 3, I believe, are on the
yeah.
sheet.
Attack 2.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, better than the first one.
Okay.
And attack 3.
Okay. So you do a quick flurry of strikes. Your first attack kind of clips into it a little bit, and you follow up with a very deep strike into the center of it. And then kind of the follow-through, unfortunately, kind of misses a little bit on that one, kind of glancing off. Some people kind of it looks like there's someone there that kind of is making notes of stuff and kind of shakes his head kind of in agreeance. And he'll kind of go, thank you very much.
Oh, silly me. I forgot the warning shot was supposed to be first.
Indeed. Alright. Do you want to do what other test would you like to do?
You said there was both a maze and a labyrinth?
There is a survival exploration one, a skill challenge, basically a searching diplomacy challenge, int challenge, or a magical skill challenge. I'll tell you, kind of breaking down how they function. So obstacle course, labyrinth, scavenger hunt, riddle puzzle, magic test.
Oh god. Where are my skills? I'm not used to the sheet.
Uh-huh. Figuring out what you kind of have some skill in, just scratching your chin.
You know, let's go through that more survival-y setup.
Okay, so you're gonna do the labyrinth. Okay. Pretty simple labyrinth that kind of seems to have been set up in an area. But it is in one of the, looks like it would have been an open barracks area, but because, the fortress isn't fully stocked with people, they've converted it to a little labyrinth for tests for people, it looks like. So you can head in there. I guess if you want to, you could give me a couple of survival checks. Give me 2 survival, unless there is a different skill you think you might want to try to use here, or ability.
Is there any certain smells or anything that would help me out here? My scent is imprecise, but it's good.
Ah. If you wish to use your scent, certainly speaking, I would allow you to use one of those for one of your checks here.
Which would switch it to perception for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'll do the first one off scent.
Okay. Perception. Good perception check. Alright. Excellent. So you're sniffing around, and you are the first one to be in here. So certainly you can test, you can pick up that, there have been people trying this test out before. And there does seem to be common direction here, maybe? Areas where the scent is strongest from all these people. So you can kind of pick that out. I still will need a survival check. So that's not as well. So you will manage to get through it, but you will take a little bit of while. There's a couple of extra dead ends, but you following the scent is enough to cut you off from being completely outside of there. So some people will kind of greet you at the end and say, the man will say, a man will kind of greet you at the end and say, welcome out. Good work. It seems as though you've passed at least 2 tests here. Wasn't pretty, but you did manage to get out within the limit we were setting for people. If you want to take any other tests, you'll feel free to show off any kind of skills, but otherwise, we will be sending your information in.
Oh, I do believe my pedigree will speak for me.
Excellent. Alright. So, our good Fetchling friend, Umbrin, what would you want to test out?
Okay, so there was obviously fighting, the scavenger hunt. What were the other ones?
An obstacle course, labyrinth, a puzzle, which would be more int-based, and a magical test.
Well, I definitely do want to. What's the labyrinth is obstacles?
Labyrinth and obstacles are two different ones. Like the obstacle course would be more like I have to remember what's on the sheet now. I have to open one of your sheets to remember all the skills. Because again, like I was going to go from like wait a second, 3.5 D&D.
Yeah, proficiencies.
Athletics or acrobatics. They are. Thanks, Windows, for keeping up something.
Yeah, it loves to do that.
I was saying something else on the boom boom, which I'm sure was on stream. Like, I just interrupted me.
I'll probably do magical, the labyrinth, and the scavenger.
Ooh. Okay.
Whatever order you want to do that.
Well, why don't we do the magical one first? So there seems to be basically the easiest way of saying this is there is a magic-based puzzle. You can use whatever. You can either use your skill, or you could use spells to solve it. You'd have to tell me which one you want to do. One of them, basically, you can give up spell slots for the day, and I can just say you can pass. If nothing happens today, you're not worrying about it. But who knows? Maybe something will happen today. Ha ha. But then again, you can also use your skills.
Let me look at. I mean, I could do religion, occultism.
Occultism check, you could kind of study up on it, figure out how the magic works, perhaps. This strange mystical device.
Yeah, but I'm saying which skill am I using to do that in?
Are you an occult spellcaster?
I'm a divine spellcaster, actually.
Then I would say use religion. I would say use one that's primarily yours.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if you were occult or divine.
Yeah, I have some occult stuff, but it's mainly divine.
Gotcha.
Roll. Mediocre roll.
Still, 15's not bad. You kind of take a look at this device here, and you understand your the magical energies, especially from the divine sense that you have. And after a little while, you kind of pless around with some things. And why don't you give me a secondary check?
Same with religion again.
If you want to use it again, I would allow you to use a different one if you wanted to at this point in time on the other ones, either occult or arcana, but or arcane. But that's up to you.
Well, no, arcane's definitely not.
I don't know all the skills you have.
Yeah. I mean, I could try to look into my future and use my fortune telling.
That's up to you on that one. If you want to kind of like use your future abilities.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tap into the spirits and see if I can solve it this way.
You like kind of like you're like, All right. You like you kind of hold out your hands and you hear the spirits kind of around you. You know, kind of like little whispers and voices that kind of come into your ear. Also the screams of the damned. May I note, probably. Anyway, yeah, no, you figure out what's going on. And you finally, basically, kind of manipulate this kind of strange device that was emitting magical, and it turns off. It was basically glowing, now it's not. And the man with the thing kind of writes stuff down and says, well, thank you very much, very good, excellent.
Thank you.
Now, what was the next test you want to take? Mr. Green?
Why don't we do the maze next?
Alright. Going to go to the labyrinth.
Yes.
Survival.
I'm also going to, pull up my sleeve.
Ooh.
And have Shadow come out.
Alright. So, Shadow, being your
Familiar.
Yeah,
familiar, pops out.
Because he's a tattoo when he's not active.
Yeah. Yep. So your tattoo flies off and starts screeching around you, kind of fluttering around as the bat makes little noises, and then kind of lands on your head.
I'm going to order him to fly up and use share senses with him to get a lay of everything.
Okay. I will need, I guess, a perception from Shadow.
So there's that, and the perception from Shadow.
Yep. Ooh. So Shadow kind of gives a good scouting of everything and gets a good idea. As I said, this is kind of indoors, so you can't, but it's not built up to the ceiling, certainly speaking.
Right.
But Shadow kind of gives you a good look. So you do have a good idea of where to go. Not perfect, but a pretty good idea. And Shadow certainly gave you some good advice.
Okay.
Now,
So
what
then
else do you want to use? Survive.
Then I'll use survival.
Okay.
Which I have a good survival as well.
Ooh.
So.
Alright, rolling an 8, getting a 16, pretty good. Alright, so you'll be able to make it through. Using the information you got from Shadow, and a little bit of natural know-how, you'll get it through, and a woman will be standing there kind of marking off things. Oh, thank you very much, very good.
And then I'll have Shadow return back onto my arm.
Ooh, very good. They'll make note of, sending out a familiar that can hide with you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Show off my abilities.
Indeed. That's the point.
His magical goth abilities. Ixbanor writes into his notebook.
Is mystical goth.
He's my spirit. He's one of my spirits that I'm attuned to, okay? I talk to dead things. I talk to spirits.
Anyway. You said you wanted to do a third one. You were brave or insane.
Now it just popped out of my head. It's not it just did the maze. The
Puzzle?
Obstacle course?
Obstacle course, yes. Thank you.
Well, it's an obstacle course. I will need either athletics or acrobatics to, I'll need 3 checks for that.
That's definitely going to be acrobatics.
Right. But I will need 3 checks for this one.
I'm not an athletic man. Yep. Give me a second.
There'll be 3 parts. One will be a fairly simple kind of obstacle, so pretty easy. Then there will be a more difficult one in the middle, the most difficult one, and a little bit kind of in the middle at the end. So they're throwing it up. They're not doing like levels all the way. They're doing easiest, hardest, one kind of in the middle. They definitely want to throw you off the game.
Okay, so easiest, roll my acrobatics. Go acrobatics.
Alright, so they'll kind of start out with probably a bunch of logs to jump from thing to thing to, or run along, to get to the end there. So then you're going into the middle, more difficult area.
Let me check something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Why not? I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Ooh, okay. So you kind of move your hands around as you kind of stick yourself up, patting yourself down, giving yourself a little guidance, casting the spell, which will grant you a +1 bonus to next skill check.
I picture him just whispering, and then you hear a slight whisper back and tells you what to do.
Ooh,
all right.
I'm glad I took the guidance, but that's still not great.
Still, unfortunately, this is a very difficult one. If you will kind of, honestly speaking, you will be able to get through the obstacle, but you're kind of going to fail the main way of getting it. You'll have to kind of go on the kind of they usually have a way you kind of walk around things a little easier, the easier path on there. Yeah. So, unfortunate. But you can get to the middle, the medium area. They're not stopping you. They're allowing you to continue the entire thing. I'm
gonna do guidance again.
Okay.
Just because my rolls seem to be crappy today. I've had one really good roll. Oh God.
You can't use it twice within an hour.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yes.
So that's an 11. Never mind.
Okay, so thank
Yep,
you.
Either way, the target is immune for 1 hour.
Okay. I missed that too, so thank you. I see that near the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So
Pathfinder loves its duration holdovers for these kind of things, which is why I look for it.
It's definitely one of those things that I have to remember about too for some things. Anyway, so as much as your show on the magical test and certainly the labyrinth were really great and really impressive, your show on the obstacle course starts out really well and then just kind of falls short. There'll be some notes there and be like, yeah,
Good sprinter, bad endurance.
And this dwarf will be taking notes, and he'll kind of walk up to you after you're done and kind of back and kind of pat you on the shoulder and be like, we can't all be experts in the obstacle course. It's fine. Good attempt there, kid. Good attempt there.
Just a little off today.
I know, I understand. Good luck to you. Alright. The test will continue as these people will kind of move around, take tests, there'll be kind of notes. Everybody had kind of given like a bit of name and information when you arrived here just to kind of like check in with the people here so they knew who you were. But we kind of now like turn back to the room in the main building where Ixbanor has been hanging out with the commander of the base, who is this half-elven woman. You know her by her name, the Duchess Caesarian Avanswell. She's Alborian, which is Pathfinder Remaster fancy name for half-elf.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can just say half-elf, honestly.
I know, but I'm trying to use the remasters terms for stuff a lot of times now. I'm trying to train myself, because they have different names. Technically. Anyway. You see anything interesting?
Also, I just want to say, my Google Docs where I'm taking notes wants to correct Umbrin to Umbreon. Anyway, just saying that.
I am not Umbreon.
I am not a Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Where were we?
Well, we determined that Joe was not a Pokemon. But other than that, we returned back to you and the commander, who's asking for your thoughts at this point now on all the tests and stuff and people that are out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, none were extremely impressive, but then maybe my hopes were a bit high. I guess you can't expect new recruits to be elite soldiers.
Fact
You know,
is-
they're...
The fact is, this might be the best soldiers that we have at this point in time. How many lives have been lost in the last 100 years? War.
I don't think my abacus goes that high.
She'll kind of snicker. There'll be a knock on the door. In will come a kind of elderly man with kind of graying hair, human. He's kind of dressed in very simple leathers with a bow on his back. Looks very like a forester. You can kind of go, Mr. Quilk, nice to see you.
Mr. Cloak?
Quillick.
Quillick.
I will put the spelling of his name in the chat here, because I think I can. And here is the Duchess's name. I can just copy and paste these. I forgot that I can do it. There's the Duchess. And, of course, just so I have some names here that are...
Honestly, that's good. I've been butchering these spellings in, my Google Docs.
Anyway, he's like, ma'am? Ixbanor. Let me introduce you to Jonas Quick. Is that a ferret? No offense, but I've met a few beings similar to you. What are you? A military advisor here? Sir? Madam?
I have been a bit on the. Let's see. I've been helping out. My former master was in the military back home, and I've kind of helped out here ever since. I was chased off.
Ah, we all lost some things in the war here. Regardless, though, Mr. Quillick, Ixbanor here is going to be assigned under you. I expect you to find a team that you feel is reasonable for his skills as a master spellcaster and alchemist. Jonas is gonna kind of scratch his head and kind of be like, it's just, it is what it is. That's his first name. Well, I've been assigned a bunch of interesting folks. I think I can find together a team for them. Sure. Yeah, I can think of something. Sorry, friend. Ixbanor, was it?
Yes. Ixbanor Halifax.
Oh, Jonas Quillick. I try to butcher my own name for a second. I'll do what I can to help you out here and get some kind of group.
Yes, I'm looking for a team. I want to help out more. Do some field work. I'm tired of sitting in the castle all day brewing potions, or fort.
I may be able to arrange something of more of a frontline fighter to assist.
I do a couple shadow boxing jabs.
There are some people that I know of that are looking to volunteer who weren't able to make it. I can see handing off one of them might have a little bit more frontline skills. So perhaps assigning some people that would be more complement a group like that. Joe's kind of like, rub his chin for a second and be like, "Yeah, I think I can find some group. All right, all right." He'll kind of like look around and is like, "Do you need a carry, or are you gonna walk around with me?"
I can. I mean, if you're willing, it would be faster.
He's gonna point to his shoulder and be like, "I'm gonna be the first little critter that's been on my side."
I climb up.
Though they don't usually talk. Not without magic.
I mean,
well,
arguably.
Well, magic I'm casting, magic. I mean. Yeah, but I meant like magic I'm casting, to understand things, I just don't, like, walk up to and talk and stuff.
Oh, are you a druid?
No, wild man.
Ah.
AKA ranger.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so Jonas will escort you out. I'm gonna ask us what I turned this one down a little bit too, since I'm getting a sense of the sound level.
I think you can adjust them all.
I can adjust them at the bottom. No, well, whatever. My drink has been in the way of where I can adjust them. I haven't had them manually. Whatever. Anyway, he'll lead you out down to the main courtyard, and basically there seems to be a group of maybe about 20 individuals that are kind of milling about in front of the can never get the good name of this thing. The wooden structure to stand in front of everybody on.
Gazebo?
Zero.
Stage?
Stage. There's another name than stage. I know there's another name than stage, and my brain keeps... I said it, I think, earlier, and I keep losing it.
Podium?
Podium. There you go. The wooden podium area, where they stand out in front of it. All right, everybody.
Grandstand.
Name's Jonas Quilk. Quillick. Used to be a soldier many years ago, even before a lot of things happened. Retired. And then, of course, got shunted here with I'm sure many of you, many others that you might know. Anyway, you've been assigned to me. A lot of you, we're going to be working together to keep an eye out on things. Our main mission that I have been assigned is basically to go to the outlying settlements and villages and check in with them. See what they've seen, what they know. Get an idea of if anybody's seen anything. The more quicker we can get an idea of movement at the borders, the enemy heading towards us, the quicker we can get Birchlings ready for battle. Certainly speaking, things like the bridges over the rivers can be taken care of at any time. But, nonetheless, you have to be ready. I'm going to be breaking you down in some groups. Give me a moment while I do that. So he'll take some time, kind of talk to various groups of people. You see him kind of moving around, kind of discussing about something. And eventually he's going to kind of walk up to you, Umbrin. Kind of like take a look at you and be like, all right, you, I'm going to assign you to work with this one over here. And he's going to point to Ysoki, a ratfolk. You Fetchling and a ratfolk. Two of you, come with me. Both of you going to follow them, or?
Yes.
I would prefer if you didn't just call me a rat folk. I would like it if you referred to me as my title, Lord Eskret Von-Wimbledim.
Well, Eskret?
Lord?
Sure. Anyway. Look, sorry that, glad you have a title and all, but, not really gonna help much at this point in time. Honestly speaking, we need more people like you that have titles that are coming down to help out with people.
It's not about whether or not it will help, it's about showing proper respect.
Plenty of people have been fleeing farther east, I hear. A bunch of them going to the far borders, hoping to weather things out. Or maybe that the Dread aren't going to head that way. I think it's crazy. Should keep our forces as close to this area as possible. Yeah. But thanks. Your lordship. Anyway.
It is appreciated. Always happy to help the more common folk.
What's your name? Pointing to you, Umbrin.
My name is Umbrin.
Alright. Lord Eskret, Umbrin. You two come with me. You're a little bit of the odd ones out, but I got a job for you, and there'll be a little bit more.
Am I still on his shoulder?
Oh, yeah!
Okay.
There's been a ferret on his shoulder the entire time. In clothes? A clothed ferret?
Like, I'm a clothed rat, what do you want?
You're a rat person? This is like an actual, tiny ferret? Like pet ferret?
I should introduce myself. I am Ixbanor Halifax.
Oh, you can talk. It is a pleasure to meet you, Ixbanor. Do you do any other tricks?
I twitched.
The thing is, I think Jonas would kind of turn his head towards you a little bit with an eyebrow raised to be like,
I feel the odd man out as I do not have fur.
I don't either, but
Well, I'm looking at those two specifically.
Well, there are benefits to having fur and not, obviously. We cannot sweat.
Anyway.
That's about all you have, actually.
So 3 of you will be assigned together as a group. He's gonna pick up you, Ixbanor, and like hold you out to be like, kind of give you a thing is you want to hang out with one of them or you want to go down.
I'll walk for now.
All right. Well, he'll help you down to the ground just to make it quicker, and then kind of like do it. So we gotta get some formalities done. You can go over there to the processing group. They've got some equipment that they're going to be giving all of you. Same basic equipment that they're giving all the teams. Feel to break it up all as you want. After that, look, it's been a long day. I expect that there will be some time. We'll be starting and assigning missions tomorrow. The point of today was to get teams together, give you a little time to spend with each other, get to know each other. The likelihood of you running into problems, not very high. But doesn't mean you might not. And you won't be there. Well, you won't be far enough away that if something happens, you're not going to get much backup, if any. So. And, sorry to say that even if I'm confident in my skills, I don't think I could take on an entire army on mine. Wouldn't want to try.
Well, not all of us are alone.
They'll raise an eyebrow and be like, well, I guess the 3 of you each other. So, all right then.
Oh yeah, you're the one with the little bat friend.
He's more than a mere bat.
Oh,
But,
I
mean,
thought he was gonna say
how
more than a
people
friend, and this is going in a completely different direction.
That's just how the living can perceive him.
All right then. Good luck to you 3.
I look at Joe. I
We'll
look
go
at
that
Joe.
way.
It's like, is this a good idea?
he just is like, look, I've made a decision. I'm peacing out. Jonas is just gonna be like, kind of give like a little nod, kind of wave to you, and then walk and talk to some other groups there. But he will, as you kind of running, he'll be like, hey, after you get everything settled, I think the commander was saying something about meeting with you a little deeper into the afternoon. Maybe get your equipment and go get a late lunch or something with the 3 of you. There's a couple nice taverns around. And he'll wander off to help other people. So it leaves the 3 of you kind of awkwardly standing around in a kind of courtyard with a lot of people standing around. And, yeah. What are you doing?
So, I saw some of your skills in the testing area. You seem to be more of a, you are moderately skilled with that rapier, and you are, you seem to have more mystical arts. Since you guys didn't get to see me, I will say that I am a spellcaster. I also can brew potions.
I can also combine my mystical energies with physical attacks.
I'm much more effective when I'm able to use my charm on my opponents. These inanimate objects clearly do not give me any sort of challenge, so I wasn't able to perform to the best of my abilities.
Understood.
As you kind of chat with each other, kind of introducing each other, to basically getting a little bit knowledge, you can kind of head over to where the quartermaster is hanging out and assigning basically some equipment. He seems to be going, when a team of people kind of come on, he kind of checks you in, and seems to be grabbing basically a pack of material that you kind of break down. You'll have a turn to this. So, he'll be like, one of you the leader?
Well, Clearly, it is me.
I just picture
I'm gonna
Ixbanor
point
stepping
down-
forward and then you just stepping in front of him.
I'm gonna point down to Ixbanor, like, I believe he has seniority. It is he.
Whatever.
I guess it can be age before beauty.
It is he, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't want to be rude.
There's like an old human man. He kind of shakes his head. He's kind of like gruff beard. And he's like, whatever. Anyway, you guys calling yourself something? I know sometimes your groups want to have an assignment. If not, I'll just put some initials down for whatever your names are on the official records. So let people know that you've grabbed your gear.
I mean, I haven't had time to decide on a group name yet, so temporarily, yeah, something.
All right. So your names?
Umbrin.
You have a last
Ixbanor
name.
Halifax.
I never
Ixbanor.
knew my last name.
Okay. Last name unknown. Great. And you, sir?
Lord Eskret Von-Wimbledim, first of his name, Lord of all of these lands, heir to the gods themselves.
All right then. Anyway,
You
He'll
can just
pull out
start
a-
full of himself down there.
he'll pull out a backpack and kind of throw it open and start pulling stuff out to show you. So, we got you 2 minor healing potions, water skin, some rope, a grappling hook, 3 things of oil, a lantern, 2 weeks of rations split between each other. So good luck on that one. 20 silver pieces in a little pouch here, compass, crowbar, manacles in case you have to take a prisoner, healer's toolkit, and this 4-person tent. With all the gear, all 3 of you get. Normally I get 4 people, so you know. I was expecting 1 more. But good luck on that. Figure out who gets what. Here you go. It's been assigned.
Are you gonna put it in chat for us?
Oh, sorry. I will put it in chat.
Like I'm good, but I'm not that good.
I know.
I think you could have.
I could have been probably noting it down. I probably should have, but I didn't either. Is that for each of us or just one?
That's the group that you get all.
Okay.
That. You have to divide that between you.
Well, there's 3 of us, so we can get 2 healing potions each. I will. I have.
There's just 2 healing potions.
I have 2, but I have 4.
Okay,
on
I
my
see.
sheet. So
Got you.
I can. Yeah. And so you can have some of this. I reached into a small bag at my pouch and pull out a healing potion. And
Can you do this not in front of where we're giving out stuff? That's what people are going to be tapping their foot.
Oh yeah, look. Just put it all in the bag for now.
I was just saying, maybe we should walk away and do this.
Yeah, so I just shove you see me just shove everything into my bag. It's like a little coin purse that's on my pouch. It's big for me, but it's not that big. And I clearly am shoving way more into it than you would expect.
It's this large object that kind of goes this tiny. It is the large item in a small place. You know, it is definitely magical. It is very comical that you can just whoop. Anyway. Well, it was suggested an inn or a tavern, and there are places like that in town. Unless you're just going to kind of hang around in this nice court for a while.
I'm fine with whatever.
I lead us to a tavern, I guess.
All right, so head to the city. Do you want to, of course, head to the local tavern? Or to the ale house? The ale house is probably more drinking than, food, but, So the two main places in town are the Varnished Top, and Brug's Juice is the ale house. Yes.
I'm new around here. Do you have a suggestion?
Bronze juice is a little rowdy sometimes. I prefer the varnished top.
The Varnished Top. Alright. So, you can head to the Varnished Top. It is a tavern. It has a small inn attached to it that doesn't see a lot of use nowadays. Most of the time, people are staying in some, like, the common houses around places to stay in the city. There's not a lot of travelers at this point. You know, horrible army that basically kills everybody in its wake, beating down on you. That kind of thing. Certainly speaking, walking out of the town, the city feels a little empty. The fact is that this place would have been maybe 20, 30,000 people at one point in time. There's now maybe 10 in the city. A third of the people, perhaps. It just feels a little quiet. But of course, at the Varnished Top, you wouldn't know that! It's the middle of the afternoon, and people are already there getting a drink. A little bit of food. You'll see this older dwarven male with this kind of like burly, kind of black and gray beard kind of behind it. This is Belor Graveheart, barkeep and owner of the Varnished Top. Welcome, welcome, come in, come in. Take a seat down. Everybody's welcome to the Varnished Top. Can I get you anything? Dwarf.
Dwarf, okay.
I'll put his name in chat also, just so you know the spelling.
Do you need to be lifted so you can speak to him?
I mean, I assume he just doesn't even, like, look down at me. It's like, but...
But, like, they've been... Basically, probably... Eskret, you don't really have trouble talking to Ixbanor. He's only a size category smaller than you.
Well,
it is a little
okay,
weird, because, like, you're looking down instead of looking up to people, because you are, unfortunately, a small person in a mostly medium person world.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
there's
mean,
not, like,
you also gotta
atlas to
think,
go
like,
for.
he should be like 3 to 4 feet tall for being small. I'm like 1 foot tall, so...
Yeah. Umbrin, there's a tiny thing next to you. Kind of like look down and be like, "Hey, down there."
Do you need a hand to a seat?
I just give him a glare and climb up onto the stool,
Mm-hmm.
and then onto the table.
I
onto the
wasn't
bar.
trying to be rude.
There's been so many people asking me if I need help today. I don't get it.
Well, this place isn't exactly built for someone your size, I don't think.
I'll manage.
What'll it be for the three of you?
Is there like a board with what like they have?
There does so happen to be a board here. The tavern, as I kind of said, is a little bit rowdy. There's a lot of people here. It looks like some woodsmen, a couple soldiers perhaps off duty, a couple locals, all kinds of people that just seem to be enjoying a little bit of afternoon break or perhaps getting back to some things. The board here is pretty simple. It describes a couple of simple dishes. There is a deer stew. There's also a poached fish. And there is also a baked rabbit as the main dishes you can order for food. As for drink, it seems as though, other than what you see as some bottles behind you, the main tap, which is also listed on the board, is the special of the Varnished Top, the Varnished Ale.
Hopefully it's not just varnish.
Who knows? You could ask.
Well, I will have an order of the soup and some of that varnished ale, please.
Ah!
Do you
Sure.
happen to have any wine?
We do have a couple of bottles here. Let me take a look. Our wine supply is running a little low right now. We might be getting a shipment in a couple of weeks. Still getting supplies in from towards the capital, but just not as much as we used to. Ah, here we go. I got two. I got a dwarven wine. I don't know if it's your taste. I do got something down from the Oh. Old Golden Arns wine. Golden Meadows. Guess we won't be getting this anymore. Gonna clink either of them. As he kind of clinks it down.
That's a shame.
And I'll take the rabbit.
I'll also have some stew.
Two hoppers and a fuzzy. He's gonna kind of yell out the back, like around like a door, as then he kind of serve up some drinks. So pour. You want anything to drink? There.
I'm good.
All right. So he'll open the bottle, kind of pour the wine. He'll kind of get to one of these barrels and kind of get a glass of the varnished ale. Kind of serve it to you. It's kind of a very heady ale, but it definitely has a very distinct, very woodsy smell to it. As for the wine, it definitely it's a red wine. It has very heavy fruity notes to it that you can kind of smell on its own. They both seem pretty decent. As he'll kind of like get back to some orders, unless you want to chat him up. There doesn't seem to be anybody else at the bar at the moment.
I don't have anything for him. I'm sure he's busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you may have noticed, I do have a quite spacious pouch, but it's still. Do we want to divvy up who's carrying what?
Well, I think first what we should discuss is the name of the group. What I was thinking is Lord Eskret's Court of Marvelous Misfits.
Who gave you this title?
The gods. Who else?
I've spoken to some. I don't believe that's true.
I'm going to be honest. The Marvelous Misfits does sound pretty good.
I would go with that.
Fine. Leave out the best part, but sure.
Well, it's got to be shortened to something. You can't say the whole thing periodically, or every time.
As long as everyone knows in their hearts what is true.
Okay, well,
the barkeep will kind of like he'll kind of like walk around back and come back with in one arm 2 bowls with some of the deer stew, and then like it is a whole roasted rabbit that seems to be stuffed with a bread and vegetable mixture. So a rudimentary stuffing, I would say, would be in it.
So it's not much smaller than you.
It is. It is probably around their size. It is a lot of stuff for you.
I mean, it depends on the type of rabbit. Rabbits can range from pretty small to actually pretty big, like the size of a cat.
I'll say it's like it is a wild caught rabbit probably too. So it's probably not.
Wild rabbits do tend to be smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the smaller side, it's still going to be not that much smaller than you.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I think we should get down to divvying out what we want. I already have rope and grappling hook.
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, so I'm gonna give out
Water
2 healing. So everyone gets 2 healing potions. I'm giving. Yeah. And I'm gonna get rid of 2 of mine because I just bought 4. I figured it would made sense for my character to have some because he's the alchemist.
I also have rope and a grappling hook.
Hold on, what do I have?
Look, you all might have bought it. You had the opportunity to. Doesn't mean that they
I do not have a grappling hook, but I do have a rope.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could take the grappling hook yourself, and we could leave the rope in like the group stash.
Yeah, I mean, the rope will. The group stash at this point is my bag. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It is a magical
I
bag.
have no need for a lantern, really. I could take the compass. I am good at surviving.
I can't carry the lantern. I do have a small lantern I had made for me.
Is it a tiny lantern, or is it like an actual, like,
So here's the thing. I have to actually specify on my sheet if it what it's sized for. So there's actually like rope and stuff I have sized for medium, etc. So like in theory, anything that I have that's sized for tiny, I have to like make myself or have made separate. Or it's magical and can be resized.
Eskret, do you need a lantern?
Not particularly. However, I would enjoy the crowbar. Also, it's Lord Eskret.
Yeah, you can take the crowbar, my lord.
Oh, so polite.
Would you mind if I take the compass?
Oh, feel free.
Okay. I'll just hold on to the rope because I feel like we're never gonna really need it like immediately.
I mean, I'll take the lantern for now, just so because you can't carry it.
I mean, we could put it in my bag and just forget about it. But
we can put it in the bag then, with the oil. Healer's kit. I am not trained in medicine.
I'm not either. But I forget how healer's kits work in this.
Let me look it up. I had the compendium open.
I know you need one to do first aid, but I don't know if it's actually I don't actually, now that I think about it, I think first aid is not a trained skill. It's a trained action. It's an untrained action. Let me double check that though.
The kit bandages hers. If you wear the healer's toolkit, you can draw and replace tools as part of an action to use them.
So, first aid is not trained, but does require a healer's kit, and that's what and so that's how you stabilize people, though.
Yeah, to administer first aid, treat disease, treat potion, treat wounds, you do need a healer's kit. I do have a +3 without being trained.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, because here's the thing, administer first aid, which is what you do to stabilize someone, is an untrained medicine check, meaning you can do it without being trained, but you still need a healer's kit, so someone should have it. That's actually a good point.
I could take it. I have a +3 unless anyone else has a better.
No, I have a +1.
Lord.
No. Just no.
Okay, I'll put it on my sheet. I have it. Does anyone want manacles?
I'll just keep those. If we need them, I'll pull them out.
Can the 4-person tent fit in your bag?
Yeah, I guess I can fit another one in there.
Another one?
Yes?
I'm assuming everyone probably has a water skin as well.
I would hope so. If we're going to be traveling.
That would be a spare.
Boots.
So I think that takes care of everything.
Well, once everything is assigned, of course, you can enjoy your meal. The stew is very hearty. It's got a lot of root vegetables, like carrots, potatoes, and that kind of stuff, with some fresh venison. As I talked about the rabbit already, it's stuffing. So you might go on that one. And yeah, it's all very good, very delicious, and good food. You kind of enjoy here. Once your meal is done and you kind of handed out things, what is your plan then? Now, you were given information to head back to the...
Oh, also, you all have backpacks, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
I figured. Okay. So I'll just keep the backpack at my thing.
Mhm. The
I
backpack
also
that
have
is...
soap.
Same. I have multiple soap.
Multi-soap. Actually, why don't we take our break here, actually, as we kind of are at a good spot here. Kind of pause the music here, because we're about at the halfway point that we normally have a session. I think because we are indeed missing a player, I'm going to do a little bit more after this here. But, we're kind of going to finish up a little bit of introduction on your team. And, what is the magnificent, Misfits?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to make note of that.
The Lord Eskret's magnificent misfits.
Yes.
I'm not. No.
Well, some Lord.
Magnificent misfit. I am not a Lord Eskret's magnificent.
Mhm.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't think you have a choice.
I'm very dubious of him being a lord.
That's fine. My character is just like, you know what? It's not the weirdest thing I've seen.
You're not wrong.
Actually, as we're eating, I'm going to ask if anyone wishes to have a heroine.
So Eskret is not even eating with a spoon, by the way. He's just gulping the stew down.
That's so lordish.
I do like that this is how you eat. Just face in the stew, almost. I guess if you're a Ysoki or ratfolk, it is kind of snout the stew, almost. Or like above the stew, just gulping it down. And, I can picture that. So, anyway, I guess if anybody wants a herring, you can have it as we take our break here. And just have us. So we're gonna go on a little break here. So those of you who are joining us live, go have a little drink and stuff. For those of you who are watching this later on, you can just be back in a second. So you're not gonna miss anything. So anyway, a snack, drink, bathroom break. You do them. We're back in it. Put up our break screen and mute us. This break screen. So yeah, everything seems stable. Probably. Wait, sound test. I should have done that beforehand. I really should, but I didn't. But now I did, and it sounds good. It's still working. And hello, welcome back, everybody. Hey, there was a break in there for people that were joining us live. Hey, we got drinks and snacks and stuff and food. So you've pretty much had your time at the Varnish Top. What is your plan after this? You were given a little bit of information on what to do, but you can do a little bit more beforehand. You were given also 20 silver pieces, to which, if your group needs to spend it on anything
Oh yeah, we
for
did
them.
divvy that out.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess we'll give 5 each.
Technically.
That's why I'm just like, I guess we get all 5 each.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 20, well... Because it was... 5 each.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 20 that you're supposed to spend on the group, so you could just keep it kind of group loot if you want to go shopping or something for something that anyone you need right now in town. For the group.
I don't really need anything specific.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I purchased everything before we even started playing, so...
I had some money already still left. I had 8 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, certainly then you can head back to the base, to Fort Trank, and head to meet with the commander. You were asked to kind of head into the main building, and when you kind of enter in there, you will see Jonas again. He'll kind of turn towards you. It's like, hey, how are things going with you? group of working out? Three of you feel like you can work together?
We had a nice team lunch.
Good, good. Look, I think the reason why, honestly, we're not sending you out there right away is just this. Look, we got a bunch of random people, we're throwing them together in groups, and I was a little worried about your group. I think you are the only Ferret, Ysoki, and Fetchling in the entire base tank. So, the three of you do stand out a little. No offense at all. But
My people are rare anymore.
plenty of people are rare at this point in time.
And what did we decide our name would be? The Menagerie of Misfits?
Magnificent Misfits.
Magnificent
Marvelous.
Misfits, thank you. Marvelous,
Marvelous.
okay.
Misfits, yeah.
Marvelous.
Right. Marvelous
Yeah, right
misfits.
Writing that down.
Lord Eskret's Marvelous Misfits. I am noting that because it will be
I
used
confused
by a
the
couple of
internet.
you. A couple of you will use that, and a couple of you may not, and it will be hilarious. The Marvelous
And that is why we decided to name our team the Marvelous Misfits. Lord Eskret's Marvelous Misfits. Just Marvelous Misfits. I go like, just Marvelous Misfits.
He's gonna kind of shake his head and raise an eyebrow. Look, great. Team unity is a good thing whenever you're working with some people. Getting a little bit of that pretty quickly seems good. Feels like you're all going to be working together pretty well. Look, not going to lie. I'm going to send a bunch of people out to some pretty dangerous areas. I'm going to be heading north tomorrow, along with other groups that I'm sending out. Closer to the border. Meaning closer to whatever's gonna happen. Just stay safe. You guys are interesting. I would feel bad if something had happened. Anyway, I think the commander wanted to speak with you a little bit more. You and your new pals, Ixbanor. So, luck. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the full assignment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. You head upstairs, into the higher end of the main building. Kind of where the offices, a lot of the officers have their places. There's also, the records here, a small library. Kind of things that you need for a fortress. Probably a big map area, too, with all the old maps. Many of which probably aren't as helpful anymore. Maps from decades ago. Anyway, you'll be able to reach the commander's office and reach the door. It's closed currently. Face your greatest adversary. But you face your greatest adversary up to yet. A door.
Door has defeated many an adventuring party.
It really has. That's
It's
what
a
I'm
mimic
saying.
door.
I'm not thinking of just like you spend 20 minutes checking out a door and it's just unlocked and untrapped.
Yeah. I know. I'm just joking. It's a mimic door.
That's an actual thing. We have to blame Curse of Strahd for that. That's an actual thing.
I mean, that was all. That was yeah.
I mean, yes, they're not the first. Still. Anyway, door in front of you. Closed.
Oh. I
Knock.
Exabar.
Very, very, very faint knock.
I'm just gonna do something here.
You seem to know what's going on here the best out of all of us.
Hello? Is someone there?
It is Ixbanor. We were told to come see you.
That's what. Oh, apologies. I almost did not hear your knocking. Please come in. Come in.
I'll open the door.
Okay. It will swing open. It's the office. Inside is a half-elven woman and Ivorian woman. You would recognize her as the commander. I know at very least, Ixbanor, you would know this. The other two of you, I don't know. We haven't really determined how long you've been in town, so I don't know if you know that she is the current wife of the Lord Mayor of this city. So
Lord.
Lord Mayor Duke Harold Avanswell. That's why she's Duchess. That's why she's Commander Duchess Sarian. Well, Jonas certainly put together an interesting group. Mr. Quilk certainly has a taste for unique. Mr. Lord Eskret, it says here?
Yes?
How have things been with you since your advent from Talas' hand? Our records only have that you are from them.
Oh, things have been going quite well for me. I managed to make it all the way here without trouble.
That's excellent to see you. As for Mr. Umbrin,
Yes.
my records have that your family immigrated for Smyrnus previously,
Yes.
before the fall.
Well, it would be hard to do that after.
She'll kind of like give a wry smile. Do you have roots here in Birchlands? Or from elsewhere in the nation?
My family has traveled most of our lives from one place to another.
Look, I'm not going to lie, the three of you are not the most unique individuals I've seen out of the people volunteering here. But you are unique as, most cases, a group that we are putting together would have one person each group. There's a number of interesting individuals that have already been assigned to groups and or missions. Because you are so unique, I do want to do something to help you out. I talked to Ixbanor earlier, and I felt that you need probably a little bit more frontline strength. Well, I could perhaps provide that, if you would be willing. But, because it would be someone I would be assigning to you, I am asking first. You are volunteers, and I will not force anybody upon you. They are not a soldier, but they have training like me.
That sounds like it would be useful.
Agreed.
I do not mind adding more to the court.
Very good. So, I will require you to head to my family's manor. The Lord names me. There you must meet with my husband. I'm sure he'd be willing if you spread words to allow assistance of one of our seneschals. An individual from our group. A man by the name of Talas. He's been itching to do something more than just serve our family. And this might be an opportunity. As someone who is in military and a soldier myself, I cannot fault someone for wanting to do that. The sheer fact is, when war comes to here, my life may be forfeit long before my husband's. I've been prepared for that.
We all make sacrifices to protect the ones we love.
True. Granted, I'm sure Talas is interested in that. But my husband is a word. I will grant you a letter of writ that will allow you to meet with him. Just have to convince him that, convince him that Talas has expressed interest. Certainly to me he's expressed interest, and now I'm informing you of that interest. So, though you have not talked to him directly, you just have to convince him that, it's for the right for him to come out with him. I'm sure the three of you can do that?
I am definitely capable of that.
Excellent. Well, she's gonna pull out, open up like the desk that she has there, pull out a piece of paper and an ink pen and stuff, and start writing up something. And basically, scribble down a quick note, basically, and kind of fold it up and hand it to whoever wants to take it. She's reaching it out towards your group.
I mean, Ixbanor will take it.
Mm-hmm. Good luck to you.
And would you call it a writ of...
A writ of permission to have a meeting with the Lord Mayor.
Yeah, writ of permission. That's what I just wanted. I just wanted to write down what it was. My brain blanked on that.
I do not wish for any of you to perish, of course, but I must be a little bit more personally expanded. You are the last vestibule of the old lands, of my mother's side. Great uncle was a legend in our family. In losing what is left over from there would be terrible. Should we somehow survive this, the small, slim chance, I would hope that what is lost is not lost forever, and perhaps you may know some of that. Please, stay safe.
I will protect everyone who remains, even if I have to give my life.
And you too. Keep that in mind too. You have a story similar to my friend. You are both festivals that may be not perhaps the last, but some of the last remnants of old lands that are gone now, of people that are gone now. Keep yourselves safe. So perhaps some of those stories and cultures will not be lost if the fates will allow us to survive what is coming. Good luck.
All watch each other's backs.
And good luck to you. I hope to have a fine report when you return from your adventure. She'll get back to some work on her, allowing you to head out.
Okay.
Alright. Heading for the Lord Mayor's manor?
Yeah, we'll check us if... I assume it's only an hour out of town or something like that.
No, it is in the center of town. The Lord Mayor Manor is in the town center. It is across from the Grand Clock Tower, which is one of the very few stone structures in the entire town. Now, granted, most of the buildings in here have a stone foundation, but this is a town built as a logging town originally, built into a logging city. It's a mostly wooden city, That's the thing. The walls are wooden. They're well-built wooden walls, but yes, you are no grand fortress here in Birchlands.
Mm-hmm.
Birchlands.
Okay,
So
so it is that kind of... I don't know why. I was thinking of it makes sense that I don't know. I was thinking of it'd be called a keep if it was in the middle, but if it was outside, it would be called an estate. But I guess you can call it whatever.
The closest thing to being outside, the closest thing to outside is Fort Trank, which is on the edge of the northern edge of the city. So it is both within the walls and not, as it was kind of a festival built on there. Basically, around the time the wall fell originally in the Dread Wars, the original defenses fell, and the first country fell, they built the fortress expansion on the northern side because, again, to the south and west is rivers from where you're at. So, it's been here for, like, maybe a good chunk of years, but it's also, like, yeah, a little history lesson there for you. But I can actually give you a little bit of description of the city now, just so you have an idea of it, because we will be leaving it a little later. In the center of town is, of course, the main square, where there happens to be a lot of, like, merchant stands set up. These range from people that are bringing fresh game, small farmers that still exist nearby, things like that. Other people that don't have shops properly in town. There are two main roads that go through the town, one west-east, the other north-south. There are two bridges that head out of town, because there are two rivers. You're kind of at the crossing of some rivers, where one goes north-south, and then there's a offshoot of that river that heads to the east. So actually, the river that you have here has two drains, actually. Because one will head north and eventually drain up towards the Swarmblurns, and the other eventually meets the coast over towards the mountains to the east. So kind of a unique river that one that splits the two drains from it. Anyway, there are two bridges. The one to the west is set to be destroyed and being watched all the time because, you know, across the west is like a destroyed land. So, you know, people don't really go there. No one really lives there. One of the cursed lands is that close by, across the river. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there's a little bit of a excerpt on the city here. The Lord Mayor's Manor is a modest-sized building. It functions both as the manor house for the Duke, who is the mayor of the city. The position is assigned, of course, by the king. And other than that, it also functions as the government house for a lot of things here. So there are people coming and going at very often times throughout the day. There's a number of guards stationed about. And, of course, you're easily able to enter in through the main doors into the manor. In the entrance area is a kind of check-in place where there is a desk with some people, a number of guards around, and a bunch of people just kind of going about their business of running the town. What are you doing?
I will follow Ixbanor and whatever they.
I guess I'm walking confidently forward to the secretary.
You're heading to the secretary. It's a human woman.
You see this little ferret walking forward and then disappears behind the desk, and then climbs up onto the desk.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Can I help you? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, can I help you?
I reach into my bag and pull out the writ of permission.
Okay.
We're here to speak to the Lord.
She'll take the paper, kind of like look it over. The Lord Mayor.
Lord Mayor.
Okay. I see here. Yes. All right. Well, please take a seat. She'll kind of like look over to some chairs, which are at the edge of this, landing room, and be like, I'll send word to the Lord Mayor that you have arrived to speak with him. I believe he is currently finishing up a meeting, and you can join soon after.
Understood.
All right then. She'll get back to work after she and after like a minute or two, she'll kind of mention someone over who will take the note that you had given and give this to this person, point at your group, give some instructions, and then that person will head up a set of stairs upwards to another part of the building. It'll be about half an hour sitting around here. You can see some people come and go. It does seem fairly busy. Like, as much as I said, like, the city itself seems a little dead, just because there's a lot less people, there are still a lot of people here. People that seem to have various businesses and stuff. And you can actually hear the markets outside. The doors are wide open. And I said, there are still market stalls out here. This seems like, of anywhere, busy. This seems like the very busy area of town, where most of the people are. There's still business going on. Still stalls that are run. You can kind of smell like some cooking meat kind of wafting in through the door as someone seems to have set up a stall like cooking like skewers or something in some kind of like sweet glaze. If you hadn't had lunch, you'd be very delicious. You'd be very hungry, probably like that. Especially one of you filled up on a giant rabbit in comparison to their body size.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You need the exercise. You need to work that off a bit.
I mean, I doubt I even finished it. Put a little bit into my bag for later.
Yeah. Eventually, the person that had the note handed off to them will come down. A gnomish man who will then approach you and be like, "The Lord Mayor was ready to see your lot. Please follow me. Please do mind your manners with the Lord Mayor. I do realize that there are plenty of times where there are people that are just coming into business, but I do try to give the proper warning that Lord Mayor himself is a duke by rank and should have some level of respect to them. So please understand. Thank you."
We
He'll lead you-
understand.
He'll lead you to a set of double doors, which he will open, and kind of give a little wave for you to enter into the building. Or the room, I should say. Inside is a very large office. Very finely made. It seems to have a lot of various memorabilia that seem to mark down things in the Wardlands history. You will see things like memorabilia that seem to be marking various wars against the indigenous people of this land that were driven out long ago. I'm not going to lie, the history here isn't great. The entire history of your continent isn't great, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat it there. You know, there was a lot of battles here for the control of the lands. So, anyway, also like maps, memorabilia, and other things of marking of his standing, perhaps family heritage. I see that my wife has sent you. Please come in and sit down. Well, how may I, Lord Mayor of the Merchlands, help you out this day? Well, speak up.
We came to talk to you about your seneschal.
My seneschal? Which one?
Talas.
Talas. Has Talas gotten into some kind of mischief? I believe he's way beyond that age, but I'm sure he had a night of drinking, met with some old friends. Maybe they got into a little bit of trouble. Is that what my wife is going on about? Give some forgiveness. Oh, I'm sure she's got him in the stockades of the fortress, sleeping it off. That man.
He, actually, she told us that he wanted to help with the war effort.
What? War effort? I know that battle is looming, but, that would be foolish. The man is perfectly fine helping protect the family, the city, everything around here.
Have you asked Talas about this?
Well, it's not my place. If he had something, he would come to me about it.
Well, he seemed to have gone, your wife, who, told us to come speak to you about it, told us that he, talked to her about it.
Why would he not approach me about it then? Seems
I don't know.
unusual. No. She must be mistaken. So strange. I'm sure he misspoke something about it. I understand that perhaps you believe a great warrior such as Talas could assist you in such battle efforts, but I believe he'd be better suited here.
My Lord Mayor, surely you can understand that while Talas is a warrior, that means that he would surely come to your wife first. His familiarity with Marshall can only help him so far in the presence of your grand visage.
Perhaps you're right. As much as I have tried to make myself a person of the people, my noble lineage does throw shoe somehow. Very heavy in my words. My wife has always been the much more down-to-earth one of us. Her military career taking precedence is one of the reasons that I got assigned this in the last few decades as the new Lord Mayor of the Insurance. Yes.
Of course, and clearly with your infinite wisdom, while it is always good to have such a powerful soldier close at hand, you also see the need to help prevent the enemies from hopefully reaching such a wonderful town that you have created.
I've done my best with what is left. Many people have fled. It was to Avanswell, capital, hoping to be under the king. And what? I have been left with nearly only a little more than 1,500 troops to protect this entire city. I feel we are nigh abandoned in many ways. Avanswell wishes to hold the lines with them more than us. And still, I have tried my best to prepare for whatever war may come upon us. Our dwarven brethren came to our aid. Their land lost, wishing for some glory. And you... are you soldiers? Or perhaps you are the, people that have come to help us. From the masses.
I'm one of the... I've been helping with the army for a while, but I am moving to a more frontline capacity, whereas these two are new recruits.
I do feel I recognize you. Your kind is rare amongst these people, those beasts with speech. But also, I believe, my wife spoke of you, how you were related to one of her ancestors or descendants or something on the elephants. The relatives on the elephant side.
Yes.
Oh, very good to meet you then. And good to meet you too also. I'm very glad that there are people like you that are willing to help out our city and help protect it from the danger that looms.
My Lord Mayor, I am Lord Eskret Von-Wimbledim. I come from quite a ways off. I had to travel very far, and through all of these travels, I'd say your town is by far the best I have encountered so far, despite all the trials and tribulations you're going through.
War shall do much of that, and I am glad that a fellow leader of people is here to help with us. I am sorry that perhaps not as many of your people could have joined us, I assume, on the great travels. But have even one.
Yes, as you say, war is one of the worst things that could possibly happen to any group of people. And while I was forced to flee, I now fight among your...
Most excellent. It seems as though you seem and feel like a distinguished group. Then perhaps... Oh, yes, please.
The spirits of those who have fallen want revenge.
You have magics to speak with them, is what you imply.
I commune with those who have passed.
I have heard of those that do so. in various ways. I will not ask of your magics and your powers, but there are plenty of those amongst the worshippers of the old gods who still speak to our king. I hope that perhaps they will come to our aid instead. But again, war is not upon us yet. Maybe we can avoid it. Maybe. I can dream. Regardless, anyway, thank all.
The general hasn't been seen in, what was it, like 5 years or something?
It's been a number of years since the last attack. Since the fall of the Swervelings to the north. It was strange that they waited this long. 5 years. Garden Elders, the Thanelands, Swervelings, all fell very quickly. But our lands are the last. And war is yet to come to us. Even after the Thanelands fell, war came to Golden Meadows and Swervelings fairly quickly. They held off. Wait. It's mysterious indeed. If people like you could learn why they've been moving. Maybe there's something here, some magic in our land we do not know of that could protect us, or some other story. I don't know. Again, I hold out hope that we can survive all this. Maybe a little too much optimism. My wife is much more the pragmatic one, but I worry. Anyway.
Things need to be done in order to keep us safe. That is why we want someone as capable of Talas on our side, on our team.
Fine. Talk. I cannot force them to join me. But if they have the interest you speak of in assisting and helping, then I'm sure they would gladly come along with you. And I have given my blessing, if that is the case. Just inform me of that. I'm guessing my wife has done the same, sending you over to me. Good luck to you all. He'll inform you where to find Talas in the building. He'll call out. Shannon, please escort these people to where they can find Talas. My son. The gnome will kind of come in and be like, "Yes, please follow me. Come now, come." At least it seems like you're polite to the Lord Mayor. That's very good. I'm sure you'll do the same to any of the other people that work for him.
Oh, yes.
Excellent. Anyway, you'll be led through the building to where Seneschal Talas is. But I'm going to stop the music and end here. Because we're going to have a character introduction at the beginning of next time. And we'll do a little bit more people introductions for characters at the beginning of next time. This was a little bit more, get the characters together, get the adventure together. We were a little not as smooth as I was originally planning, but it went well. Just because of...
Real quick, because I forgot to bring it up when we came back on. Did either of you take me up on your reading offer?
Oh, you know what? Sure.
Nope.
Okay, well, in that case, I will pull out my... Where is it? My Harrow deck, which I have a fine harrowing case, and inside it is Bone Harrow cards.
Cool.
And I will do a reading for you real quick. I'm going to roll it. Just because it's fun.
Okay. I don't know the rules for fortune telling, so I can't tell you how good a 21 is off the top of my head.
but I'm assuming it would be a decent telling just because that's a decent number. I don't know. I don't think they have the hero decks and everything, but they haven't updated the hero rules that I could find for 2E.
So, I mean, I know there is the magical hero deck for 2E. Let me see if I can find
Hero rules. And I'm not going to do a non-magical version of it.
Yeah, same. Used by gamblers and seers, deck of cards, simple hero deck. Fine hero decks from various materials.
Yeah. We're just looking up some things quickly here. I'll fact it. Okay. So, I mean, you can figure out what the cards are by rolling a d6 and a d10. You can figure out what cards you drew.
Okay, yeah, do that, and...
Here's a d6. And a d10. Roll.
Alright, I've got a... Sorry, give me a second here to click on it to see what you rolled. You rolled a 5 on the d10 and a 6 on the d6. Okay.
Yep.
And you rolled it as a bat, not you.
Oh, whoops. Well,
I mean,
I just rolled it on the universal dice roller that we
Yeah.
have. So.
It's
I don't know
so,
why it rolled it as shadow.
Perhaps because the last time you rolled.
No, it's because I had clicked on shadow last. I moved it.
So, okay. I have to kind of interpret this with your roll, which is a pretty good roll. Because it's Crowns neutral. Crowns is more charisma based. Alright. Okay. You predict that there will be a meeting of words that will lead to both good and bad favor in the future. A simple prediction, but honestly speaking, maybe it's already come true a little bit. Maybe there's more to come. But there you go. Well, we'll figure it out more the next time if we do more.
I just was like, oh yeah, I did offer that. Let me just see if anyone took me up on it.
We might look into more like mechanics around if you want to do more fortune telling in the future. Figure out a little more.
I mean, I got it, but because I wasn't able to find the rules originally, so I'm just like, I don't know how this works, but it seems like something I would be doing. So
it is very up for GM interpretation. It kind of sounds like that. Kind of like I'm basically like using what you roll plus how well you skill roll to kind of determine stuff. Like you rolled a 21, pretty decent roll, not like a super great roll, pretty decent roll. So I kind of gave you, is it going to be the most accurate of predictions? Pretty decently in that thing. Like the higher number, probably the more accurate you get of like some kind of like hint at something with predictions and stuff like that. And the predictions will be related to, of course, the suit of cards, which is kind of an alignment-based things, and also the alignment. You might learn of some kind of terrible evil that might threaten you or something, or some kind of like ally or something. But of course, again, it depends on the kind of harrowing you do. Kind of like if you do one, well, maybe like once a day or something, you could do prediction there for non-natural there. You'll fortune tell a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll be a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You find that fun. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so yeah, next week, hopefully we'll have everybody together. We'll get into it. You'll be assigned your true mission and begin your quest. You've got a village to go check out. Mm-hmm. And some people
also,
to investigate.
The card that was drawn, I looked it up, is the twin. The doppelganger, or twin or doppelganger. It represents duality of purpose or identity, or indecision and fence sitting for a subject or entire spread. Subject or the entire spread.
Just to remember, if anybody really wants to know, Harrow deck is basically like a version of a Tarot deck. They're very close to each other. So, yeah. But thank you. I did not look up the list of Harrow cards. It is a list.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I guess let's have a little bit of an outro for everybody because we can't really have much of an intro for everybody at this point in time. I think what we'll do next time is we'll have everybody give a little bit of an intro, introduce your character, who you are, and stuff like that, and like some basic information, where to find you at the beginning, so everybody knows who you are to start out with, and that way we can keep the outro a little bit cleaner, next time. Maybe we'll do a little bit of intro rather than outro. Hey, switching it up for this adventure. But for now, Wyrm, I'm just going to go in the order I have you on the bottom of my screen, which is Wyrm to Joe. So Wyrm, do you have anything that you want to shout out and say about yourself now as part of an outro?
Yeah, I'm Diamond Wyrm. I'm playing Ixbanor Halifax, who's previously a familiar of a now dead wizard. As for me personally, I'm also a sorcerer, alchemist, subclass alchemist. Anyway, but as for me, you can find me at twitch.tv/DiamondWyrm or at DiamondWyrm on Twitter or Blue Sky. Yeah.
Hi.
Next.
Tiv, you got anything to shout out?
Hi, I'm Tiv. I work too much and don't exist anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm Joe. I'm here. They're pretty much.
No. As I said, next time we'll probably do a little bit of self-intro, little shout-out / character intro at the beginning, for everybody once we're all here. Because we kind of got all the characters. Hey, the one person we don't have here is the character we're going to be introducing to, next time. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, everybody. I think we shall get going. I myself can't out as you go. Just check out all my links below, all that kind of stuff. My channel here. Yep. I'll keep that very simple. Make sure to join us next week. Or join me for any of my other tabletop stuff. Either on Twitch, either on YouTube, all stuff with my social media. Anyway, yeah. I'm just the GM here. So, everybody, you have a great rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed everything. And come join us next. And until then, I say to all about you there, a good and honest farewell.